Our hydromel is finally finished. Today is bottling day. I did want to put bottling and the recipe video together in one, but the recipe was already 17 minutes long, and I figured that was long enough. So here's bottling day. Unfortunately, Derek couldn't be here with me today. He has family visiting from out of state. Derek, if you're watching this, I'm lonely without you. But in his place, I have a very special guest. This is Sir Cuthbert Hemingway. He'll be helping us bottle today. He's a little more knowledgeable than Derek in homebrewing, but no way near a master. So we're gonna need bottles, caps, and a capper. You'll need about 55 12-ounce bottles for a 5-gallon batch. Bottling gets tedious after a while, so I like to use bigger bottles. This is 24 ounces. It'll take a little less than 30 of those. We also have caps and a capper. We're gonna fill a bowl of sanitizer and just throw all the caps in there. Get them all nice and sanitized, you know. Now we also want this mead to be carbonated. So we're going to add priming sugar. To sanitize the priming sugar, we're going to boil it. So we're gonna put our little pot on our scale, fill it with some bottled water. Good enough. And we're gonna zero that out and add 5 ounces of corn sugar. That's set on grams. Lips. Oh, 5 ounces. And we're gonna go ahead and set this over to boil while we focus on other stuff. We're also gonna need our little spigot for our bottling bucket. A big stirring spoon, our hydrometer, and our racking cane. We want to get all this immersed and covered in the sanitizer. Get everything all nice and germ-free, bacteria-free, bug-free, everything clean. We're gonna let all of this sit for just a couple of minutes so the sanitizer can work its magic, do its thing. Let's go ahead and install a spigot in our thing here. The spigot comes with 2 gaskets, one for inside the bucket and one for outside the bucket. Be careful not to put both gaskets on one side. And sanitize our bucket. Let that sit for a little while. Okay, and now it's time to sanitize our bottles. They do make a machine to make this bottle sanitizing process easier, but I don't have one of those. More beer? If you're watching this, my birthday is next month. Hook me up. Get a little sanitizer in there. Give it a good old shake and drain it out. And we'll go ahead and speed time the rest of this bottle sanitizing part. Okay, first thing we're gonna do is get a gravity reading. Just to make sure our ferment is finished, you know. Get a sanitized hydrometer and drop it in there. Now, if you want to be extra sure that your ferment is over, you want to get a gravity reading 2 or 3 days apart. 2 readings, 2 or 3 days apart. If they're both the same, your ferment's done. And this is reading about 1, almost right at 1. So I'm going to call that done. It's not going to ferment any farther down than 1. Dump your sanitizer out of your bucket. When you place this bucket on the ground, you want to turn your spigot sideways. Make sure the spigot itself doesn't touch the ground, which is generally less sanitary than other surfaces. Don't fear the foam. Always bubbles won't hurt anything. Oh, you know what? I forgot the priming sugar. This 5 ounces of corn sugar and bottled water has been boiled and it's now cool a little bit. And we're just going to pour that in there. We're just going to rack right on top of that. Racking is the industry term for transferring from one vessel to another. While racking, you want to splash as little as possible to reduce the risk of oxidation. The best way to rack is with a racking cane, which gives you the most control out of what stays in your fermenting bucket and what goes into your bottling bucket. Place your fermenting bucket up high on a table and your bottling bucket down low on the floor. Place the end of your tube into your bottling bucket. Make sure it's all the way at the bottom. I like to wedge mine in the spigot. Place your racking cane into your bucket. Don't go all the way to the bottom. You don't want to suck up any of that nasty yeast cake. And then simply raise and depress the lever until you get flow. And let it do its thing. A racking cane is deliberately designed not to suck from the bottom, but about 1 inch from the bottom. But it's still good to be on the safe side and don't immerse the bottom of the cane into the yeast cake. Keep the end of the tube immersed in your mead for the duration of the transfer. When you get to the bottom of the bucket, it's okay to tilt it to get the last little bits out. Make sure you pay close attention so you don't suck up any of that yeast cake. Okay, we have all of our mead into our bottling bucket. The last thing we want to do, don't forget this. Take a big, long, sanitized spoon and gently stir it up. Just because you rack on top of the priming sugar won't necessarily mix it up very well. So you gotta make sure you very gently stir that priming sugar into solution. Get it mixed up as well as you can. You want to avoid splashing and agitating as much as possible. Just gently stir it. Take your bottling wand, hook it into your spigot. It's a little hard sometimes. And go ahead and open her on up. Hopefully it'll fill the bottles faster than that. This whole process can be a little bit drippy and messy, so I like to take a towel and put it right underneath the zone there. Catch all those drips and spills. So take your first bottle, dump out the last little bit of sanitizer, and fill her up. I like to fill my bottle until it overflows just a tiny little bit. And sometimes it takes a while. Almost there. Almost. Almost. And there we go. Set the bottle over and get you a bottle cap, set it on top. It'll keep bugs and flying dog furs and all kinds of stuff out of there. We'll go ahead and speed time the rest of this so we can be done in 10 seconds. doggies live here with me. A large part of these videos is me standing here waiting for the noise to settle down. Yeah. Okay, our 5 gallons of mead is in our bottles. Now comes the capping part. Now remember, don't use too much force with one of these. This doesn't use strength, this uses mechanical advantage to get the job done. So I like to get down eye level, put it in place, and press the handles. One done, and we'll speed time the rest. Star sand breaks down into simple sugars. If the star sand is inside your fermenter, the yeast will simply eat away those simple sugars. If the residue is on a bottle, it'll break down into stickiness and sliminess. So we gotta rinse it off. What I like to do is take a few sheets of paper towels, double it up, set it on the counter there, take each bottle and give it a good rinse. Set it on paper towel to dry, and I'll speed time the rest. And there you go. We're done. 5 gallons into the bottle. Now we're going to wait for this to dry and slap a label on there and call it good. It'll take a week or two for that priming sugar to carb up. And then you'll be good to go. Thank you for watching Mead with Eric and Derek. We hope you have as much fun watching us as we have making this.
Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and the notification bell so you're notified each time we upload.
And join the Discord, where more than 1,000 mead makers are always there to help you make better mead. Everything we talked about today is available for More Beer. Now, we are affiliated with More Beer. We may make a small commission on sales at no extra cost to you. It helps support the channel and helps us bring more content to you.
Links are in the description down below.
See you next time.